What's up guys, Xbox Tech Junkie back today with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Xbox's latest controller, the Phantom Magenta. It is the current Phantom controller within the Phantom line of controllers. Just for a comparison during this video, I do have the Phantom White. I unfortunately do not have the Phantom Black, but I hope to get that one next. So let's just jump right in and talk about the controller. So while I don't usually typically do very many reviews on controllers, especially when they're just standard controllers with cool design, the Phantom Magenta, I really enjoy just kind of using it, and it's for different reasons than what I would do if I was talking about the Series 2 with its features. So let's just jump right in and look at the controller. So for obvious, what the difference between this and a normal controller is going to be the design. Overall design is very similar to the other Phantoms. It starts off with a very darkish, bold color, and then works its way up to more of a transparent where you can just look straight through, kind of see the innards of the controller. There's kind of a nice little look at it. The top is that same darkish purple. One thing I really do like about this controller is when you do turn on the main X part of the sphere is actually glowing that kind of purplish. So at night it really kind of gives that cool, I like to call it a pomegranate look. And it's really weird. I've never actually been this fascinated with using a controller that was just standard. I really enjoy using the Phantom White. That's just because I love to look at it. But this one, I love to use. I love to look at. Every time I'm playing anything Halo, Minecraft, whatever I'm playing, I always look down and just admire this controller. It's a very beautiful controller. One thing I'm a little not confused by, but still pretty curious is that Microsoft with these controllers is still using just standard micro USB for the charging port. And while that makes sense because this is still technically an Xbox One controller and not a Series X, I would think that with 2020 controllers, no matter if it came out before or after Series X, they would start incorporating the USB Type-C, just so that way if you buy a controller, say for example, if another Phantom controller comes out in the middle of summer, that controller is closer to the launch of Series X than maybe the Phantom White was. And I feel like it just makes more sense to start adding in the USB Type-C. You don't have to add in any of the other features like the share button or the rigid textures on the control or the bumpers and triggers. But at least the USB Type-C, especially since that's kind of what you're moving towards with the Series X. That is actually one thing though. They do say a lot of your accessories on the Xbox Ones will work with your Series X. But in one aspect that's not necessarily true, and it's very small, it's going to be your charge and play cords. Because if you're using an Xbox Series X controller, it uses USB Type-C, and you're using a controller or a charging port that uses micro USB. So I find it just a little bit curious that Xbox is still making all of their current controllers micro USB. But besides that, the controller itself is amazing. One thing I did feel differently about it is the texture on the back. And I don't know if it's this controller or if it's just because I've been using this one so much that the rigidness is not as, defined as it once was. It's kind of getting dull. But when I first felt this, the textures on the back just felt a little bit more prominent than they did on this model. And for pretty much any other slim controller that has it. So with this video, I kind of just want to give my quick stance on it. The controller is gorgeous. It's absolutely fun to play with. It's just great to look at, and I mean, as always, I love being able to look inside the controller and kind of get a good idea of just kind of how it works. One thing that I'd love to point out to people when I started using this controller is I'm so used to using the disc D-pad on the Series 2 controller that when I jumped over to this, I was like, why does this feel so weird? And that's when my brain realized you're no longer using the disc, you're back to the standard plus D-pad. Which is kind of weird only because with the Slim or the Series X controller, we're jumping over to a hybrid of the two. So it's definitely weird going from that disc D-pad to a standard D-pad. This actually almost feels foreign to me, which is weird because this is the one I prefer. But with the Elite Series 2 controller, I'm kind of wanting to use the disc more and more. So with that though, I really do hope that when the Series X controller comes, or not Series X controller, but the Series X console in general comes out, they continue stuff like this. I hope that even if it's a new controller, the Phantom series continues. I would love to see different ideas and cool stuff. Same with the Volcano Shadow or the Ocean Shadow controllers. I love those. So pretty much out of this controller, as far as design, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 just because I can't stop staring at it. It's cool. It's unique. This is just kind of something I've never really seen on a controller. And I remember when they first started showing pictures and videos of it, I wasn't as like drawn to it. But like once I finally just kept seeing it where I work, I was like, I gotta buy that. So bought it, and I absolutely love it. If you're an Xbox controller lover, kind of like me, I definitely recommend this for the collection. It goes great with the other two. Like I said, I don't have Phantom Black, but with the Phantom White, it looks just as pretty. But that's pretty much it for today's video. Sorry there hasn't been very many videos coming out. With the whole pandemic going on, it's, everyone's home, and I don't have any time to work on my videos as much as I want to. But I'm going to try to start getting better because this sounds like it's become life now. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Stay healthy.